Relax. You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem. Quit following me.
Feel free to check the Aquabus map and schedule your videos.
Looks like you're running out of time for designs. Ingenious.
Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
Relax. Too slow.
Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right. You were just guessing? I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the Little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them, so I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalette.
You are very welcome. Many people were once enthralled by Lady Farina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
The wind rises.
Good news, everyone! It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Nervalette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Viomali and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why? Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health?
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Farina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line, but I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is she here yet?
Once it get here,
She's not coming!
you're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité est nourrie, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish?
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Non, le grand amour ne suffit pas. Seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je suis seule et toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté. Et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The Little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know, maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina after all.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Did anyone see where Miss Farina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
I thought Cleo's actress sang very well. Why did they swap her out at the end?
I don't know. Maybe that's just how it was scripted.
I wasn't expecting such an incredible performance from an amateur troupe. They didn't seem out of place on the big stage at all.
Yeah, their technique could use some polish, but the performance in general felt very believable. Hit all the right emotional notes. I think it'll stay with me for a while.
Behold!
What a surprise! Seeing Miss Farina on the stage? This ticket was money well spent.
Yeah, I agree. Say what you want about her, but she's flawless when she's on stage.
Quit following me. Too slow. Swollen Fury.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind rises.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So maybe the show will go on for me after all. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to. Thanks to all your help, this show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to Aurelie.
I mean, of course I have some regrets, but
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass out.
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the passion I had when I first joined the troupe. It might turn out to be too little, too late for me, but still, this has been the experience of a lifetime.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Rest and rebuild!
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Boring! Lament! Worthless! Here! Evil conquering! Here! Worthless!
Right now. Emerge. Right here. Emerge. Right now. I'm always watching. Right here. Right now. Emerge. Right now. Nothing lasts forever. Right here. Right now. Emerge. Right here. Emerge. Right here. A sight to behold. The fun is over. You're up! Fly! Forward and help! Repeat. Stand with me. Stay put. Hey, go away. Yugway, you're up! By royal decree! Go get it, Yugway! Stay put! I'll settle this. Our bond is strong. Hey, go away! Yugway, you're up! Stay put! Ready, go! Dissipate! Out of my way!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Huh? Let me lead you. Oz, reveal judgment!
You're open!
Try till I'm dead!
Pretty good.
Pyrotechnics! Learn to connect wings of darkness! Come, sever night from day! Yeah! Light out. Time to rock! Feel the beat! My guiding stars! Stars! Shadow Raven! Let night fall! Judgment! Shiver! Try till I'm dead!
Don't waste my time. It's nothing. Submit! Don't waste my time. Strike is one. Observe. Everybody stand back.
Leave it all to me, as a dutiful maid would.
Your life is mine. Give up. Submit. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Steady as stone, as a good knight should.
And step. Your grand finale. Don't waste my time. Your life is mine.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot! Didn't Zhongli say Hu Tao is also planning on spending some time in Xiaoying Village? We didn't have anything else to do today, right? Why don't we go have a look around? Maybe we'll run into her.
Exactly. But none of them believed me.
An antique's value is in the eye of the beholder.
The mountain air is so refreshing! It makes Paimon feel like she could float around all day and never get tired! Cream! Gummies! Fuel fruit! Huh? Did you hear that? Sunshine! Blue skies! Good vibes! Right? So Paimon wasn't just hearing things. That voice sounds really familiar. Well, we've got the time. Why don't we go check it out?
if it isn't my dear partners. See, I told you that something good was going to happen during our travels today. I have to say, sometimes the Steambird's astrology column is spot on.
It's just your lucky day.
Are you guys also here to catch the festivities? Oh, and that reminds me, Happy Lantern Ride.
Happy Lantern Ride.
Happy Lantern Ride to you too! Wait, if you're here for Lantern Ride, then what are you doing on top of this deserted mountain? And that voice we heard, that was you, right, Navia?
Oh, impressive. You could tell it was me from that far away. You've got good ears.
That or your voice is just really loud.
Well, of course it is. After all, I'm a boss.
Indeed. I suppose it's an asset.
Sure is! Having a loud voice is a handy tool when it comes to communication. Wait, that wasn't even Paimon's point. Paimon just wants to know why you two were shouting from the top of this deserted mountain. There was something about almonds, maybe? And buell fruit? Ooh, is this some sort of secret code?
No, it's not a code. The words are meaningless.
Perhaps, but the act of shouting was very meaningful indeed. That's just what mountain climbers do, right? After all the hard work it takes to make it to the top, as you stand on the summit looking out at the vast scenery, it's not easy to resist the urge to release those emotions. Exactly. You get me, partner. I was afraid that it would cause a disturbance, so I asked the locals around here, and they said it was fine. Apparently most hikers like to shout when they get to the top, so the locals are used to it by now. So, you see, it's not just me. I guess everyone shouts from the top of a mountain at some point in their life.
Speak for yourself.
When you're stressed, don't you ever just get the urge to do something for no reason?
Not really. If I ever get stressed, I just go hunting.
Oh, that's a pretty good way to relieve stress.
What I choose to hunt depends on my mood.
Huh?
Anyway, why don't you two give it a try? Shout anything you want. It's a real stress reliever.
As long as Paimon has clothes on her back and food in her belly, Paimon doesn't think there's any stress that needs relieving.
Oh, I bet you guys are just too embarrassed to let loose. No need to be shy. Even Farina was shouting from the top of this mountain earlier.
Huh? Did Paimon hear that right? Farina's also here? In Chaoying Village?
Believe in your ears. It is indeed as you heard. Actually, the reason we climbed this mountain in the first place was also because we heard the sound of shouting.
Yes, we could just about make out someone yelling things like, "Help me!" and "What should I do?" So we hurried up here to check it out. And what do you know? Miss Farina was standing right there, all red in the face. She practically sprinted back down the mountain the minute she saw us.
Ah, that reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
So, you could actually hear what she was saying? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought someone was really in trouble.
I figured we would come check out the situation either way. Why not let her keep some privacy?
Oh, seems like you caught Farina in the middle of some stress relief as well. She probably would have never thought... No, she definitely would have never thought she would run into anyone she knew all the way out here.
I think so. We ran into Nervalet on the way here as well, but he was already on his way back, so they probably weren't together.
What? Nervalet was here too? What was he doing here? It couldn't have been for vacation.
I think it just might have been, actually. But apparently he only stayed for half a day before heading back. He's a very busy man.
Neuvillette is not the type to take much time off. Taking even a half day for himself is already a huge step in the right direction.
Didn't Charlotte publish an article on the Liyue tea industry recently? Maybe he was inspired to come buy some tea after reading that article. You know, just like you were.
My situation is completely different. I'm here because I was asked to accompany you. The tea purchase is simply an added bonus of this location.
You Fontanians and your tea drinking.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something. It was just a spur-of-the-moment sort of bet. Ridesley gets really invested in that sort of thing, but he couldn't care less about what he wins in the end. You could give him mint plants that you plucked from the side of the road, and he wouldn't even mind.
If only he was that easygoing when it came to talking business. In any case, I'm pretty sure the tea you bought is this region's specialty. What is it called again? Nervalette even mentioned it earlier. Yes, that's the one.
You didn't really buy 10 boxes, did you?
Please, do I look like someone who would fall for that sort of marketing trap?
That reminds me. You guys said you only came up here because you heard my voice, right? I hope it didn't put you out. You must have had other plans for the day.
Oh, that's right. Hu Tao! A few days ago, we heard that a friend was going to be in Xiaoying Village, so we decided to come and see if we could run into her.
Oh dear. We've been chatting for quite some time. I'm sorry for keeping you. That's good.
We should probably head out and look for Hu Tao.
No need to stay on our account. We just got up here, so we're gonna stay around for a little longer.
Go and meet your friend. We can meet up in Xiaoying Village later.
Sounds good. We're gonna head down the mountain then. See you later!
What do I have to do to get you to yell from the top of this mountain? Name your price.
You really want to hear it that bad, huh?
I'm just curious is all. I have a feeling you'll say something amazing.
I will pass. I prefer to let actions speak louder than words.
Swan Fury!
Xiaoying Village is known for its tea, but you know what else they have with tea? That's right, dim sum! Didn't Gaming say something about dim sum being eaten in the morning? Oh, Paimon wonders if we can still get some at this time of day. Oh, well that's fine too. Paimon doesn't care what kind of tea it is as long as it comes with some tasty snacks. Now, let's see what kind of yummy things we can find around here. Paimon's not seeing things, is she? Is that Farino standing between Zhongli and Hu Tao? Wonder what they're talking about. Zhongli knows a lot of stuff. Maybe he's telling Farina about Xiaoying Village. Oh, or maybe Hu Tao is trying to rope Farina into being one of her clients. Hey, this isn't the Fortress of Meropide. But Paimon could be convinced for the right price. Let's say, loser buys the winner 3 huge bowls of seafood kanji. Since Zhongli is there, Paimon bets things are pretty tame. It's decided then. Paimon votes for tour guide Zhongli. All right, no time to waste. Let's go see who's right. Good afternoon, Hu Tao, Zhongli, and Farina! Oh, great. Now Paimon's shouting too.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems like our luck just keeps on growing.
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Huh? Oh, so both of you are acquainted with the Traveler and Paimon then?
Looks like someone's learned a thing or two from Zhongli.
I must admit, I am a bit surprised to see you here, Traveler. But seeing as you're a hero who's been all over to that, it makes sense that you would be well-traveled and well-connected. Since we have found ourselves in each other's company within this fertile land, allow me to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Lantern Rite.
It appears you have been to Fontaine, then. Given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go, it's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Farina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative inspiration. There is definitely more to Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier. Given his breadth of knowledge on both academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine. Is he just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
No. Yeah, you're no common tourist. I simply won't have you talk about yourself that way.
Huh? Does that mean Hu Tao also knows?
You may not have heard, friends, but...
Miss Hu Tao...
Miss Farina is now one of my esteemed clients.
Yep.
Okay, you win. Guess Paimon will have to break into the hidden stash at the bottom of her shoe.
Huh? What's this about winning something?
Don't tell me. You two were placing bets on us.
We just saw you guys standing on the side of the road and couldn't help but take guesses as to what you were talking about.
Oh, I see. That means you, my friend, must have guessed that I was trying to promote my business to Miss Farina. That I do, my friend. What was Paimon's guess then?
Paimon thought Zhongli was showing the newbie around.
By newbie, you mean me, right?
If that's the case, then Paimon's guess was also correct.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Zhongli was telling me about some great sightseeing spots in the area.
You see? Paimon was right too! Since both of our guesses were right, there can't be a winner or a loser. Hey, don't be upset, Traveler. How about this? You buy Paimonable and Paimon will also buy youable. As for the third bowl...
Since I was the subject of the bet, perhaps it should go to me? You know, as a congratulations for the huge deal I just struck. I was just joking. Anyway, I should be the one treating you. The funeral parlor is about to bring in quite the sum, after all.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot to ask about the most important question. Something happen recently, Farina?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you know, with you enlisting the services of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor and all.
Oh, well, yes.
Really? Oh no. Paimon is so sorry for your loss. Although Paimon may have not known the person, please accept Paimon's deepest...
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon.
Huh? But Paimon just thought, since you hired the services of a funeral parlor and all... Hey, it's not that big of a stretch.
Really, Paimon, it's not like you don't know me. Do I look like I know anyone who would ask me to coordinate their funeral? Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some props for my film. Not too long ago, I read a collection of horror stories from Liyue. The content was spectacular. In fact, I still feel the need to sleep with the light on even now. Anyway, that's not the point. Now that Fontaine's biggest star has returned to the stage, I figured it's about time the industry enjoyed a breath of fresh air. Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to remember that for my ad posters.
Oh, Paimon sees. That makes a lot of sense. So, did you come to Liyue just to enlist the services of Longcheng Funeral Parlor?
Well, not exactly. My original plan was to just relax and enjoy the sights. But then I ran into Miss Hutao and Mr. Zhongli, and well, you know the rest. I suppose it was meant to be.
It was a fated meeting indeed.
Zhongli sure loves his lofty turns of phrase. But if you ask me, it's all thanks to that man who stopped to ask for directions.
Oh? Who was it?
It's someone you know. Wanna take a guess? What? How did you guess that on your first try?
Very impressive, my friend. Your guessing game is spot on today.
Huh. Paimon never thought Neuvillette would be the type to get lost.
I'm sure he didn't get lost. Even I was able to find my way to this place without any trouble. He was already getting ready to leave by the time I arrived. He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
Yup, that's exactly what he asked. This area is full of mountains and rivers. It's normal to not know the fastest route.
So, were you the one that pointed him in the right direction, Hutao?
Of course. I'm also a guide of sorts, you know, so naturally I also have a great sense of direction. But speaking of your friend...
What about him?
He doesn't get out much, does he? Ah, no wonder. He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed he was here on vacation if you hadn't told me.
All in all, he was only here for half a day. I'm pretty sure he is the only one who would consider that to be a vacation.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
I'm sure he does. You didn't see him, but he was dressed like he was about to attend some important meeting. It wasn't anything like what someone would wear on vacation.
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Unfortunately, no. At the time, it appeared as if Director Hu and Miss Farina were having quite the productive conversation. I know matters of business can take much discussion, so I decided to fetch some tea for them.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
Is that so? Hmm? To borrow Miss Farina's turn of phrase, perhaps it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, with the Traveler around, I'm sure you'll have a chance to get to know each other at some point.
That's right. She's got more friends than she knows what to do with.
Well, that's certainly true. Oh, that reminds me. If you get the chance, you should try and talk to Nervalette into loosening up a bit. Just tell him the Palais Mermonia isn't going to fall apart if he disappears for a few days. He shouldn't keep himself cooped up all the time. Even clams open their shells to let in fresh water every once in a while, right? If he's really that much of a stickler for protocol, he can fill out a leave of absence request. He'd have to approve it himself since he handles that sort of thing now, but you know what I mean.
Seems like this gentleman is also in charge of something pretty important. Yeah, sounds like a pretty uptight sort of guy, all right. In my experience, a leader needs to be able to roll with the punches. That also includes knowing when and what to prioritize. It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
If I remember correctly, he's already several thousands of years old. You're quite right, Miss Hutao.
Oh? Traveler, Miss Farina. Those two individuals over there appear to recognize you.
Oh, it's Navia and Clorand. Hey, over here!
We saw you all chatting over here, and we're wondering if we could join in.
Please, excuse the interruption.
Oh, so polite. No apologies necessary. Any friend of the Traveler and Miss Farina is a friend of mine.
Ah, straight to the point. I like it. It's getting late. If we want to catch a boat back before dark, we should probably get going.
Indeed. Then, Miss Farina.
Oh, yes?
When are you planning to head back? Do you need us to escort you?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore. You don't need to look after me.
I didn't mean it that way. It's normal for friends to travel home together if they run into each other on the road.
There are a lot of mountainous roads in this area. I imagine they'll be even harder to navigate after dark.
Exactly. Just like in those ghost stories. 8 paths converge in a wood. Beside them an old house is stood. If you dare to go inside, not a soul will greet your eye. But if you take a closer look, there may be something you mistook. A candle flickers to and fro, yet there's no wind to make it so. What is its secret? What could it mean? In this wood, where mystery screams. Ooh. My dear demoiselles, ladies, no, I mean friends, please take me with you.
Of course.
Gotta say, Farina, you are really quite the character. By the way, did I hear you mention that Clorand used to work under you? Then you must have also been a leader at some point.
Well, that's, all in the past now. Besides, being a leader is hard. It wasn't the right job for me. I prefer how things are now. I can come and go as I please, and get to enjoy the sweet taste of freedom.
I see. Well, you've certainly picked an apt place to relax. Xiaoying Village is an exemplary choice.
Only the best. And I've learned a lot, too. Thank you so much, Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli.
It's fine. You've thanked us more than enough already. The next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'll treat you to some dim sum in the city.
Dim sum? Is that some kind of Liyue term for snacks or desserts?
They are a part of it. It's basically a table full of as much tea, sweets, and good company as you can manage.
Oh, so it's basically a tea party! Sounds great!
Make sure to order the winter melon cake and the lotus flower crisp. They're so sweet and delicious. Paimon knows you'll love them.
Ooh, okay. I'll be looking forward to it then.
Wait, but didn't you guys say you were here on vacation? How come you're all going home empty-handed?
Of course I am. I bought tons of fun things to bring home with me. A kite, a parasol, a little tin frog that jumps. Oh, and a stuffed toy of a mythical beast. Clorand is the one who didn't buy anything for herself.
So all you're bringing back with you is that tea?
And some tea-flavored hard candies. They're for Sijuin.
Clorand isn't much of a shopaholic.
Well, one of us has to practice restraint.
Hey, I'm hardly reckless with my Mora. I'll have you know, all the purchases I made today were well within my budget.
Me? Oh, well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the varieties recommended in the Steambird. Other than that, just some bits and bobs, you know. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. They should all be things I can use, I think.
Now Paimon's even more confused. If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? Into one of Linny's magic packets?
Oh, actually...
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
Oh, so that's what happened. Wait, what? Why did he take them? He's not hoarding treasure, is he?
That's quite the imagination you've got there, Paimon. Monsieur Neuvillette just saw the amount of bags we had and offered to take them back for us. I felt a bit bad at first, but, I really did have a lot of stuff.
He even offered to deliver my gifts to the Fortress of Meripede for me once he's done with the day's work. Neuvillette is a man of his word. If he says he can do something, then he means it.
See, even Clorand was happy to take him up on his offer. If even his trusty subordinate agreed, then who was I to refuse?
Wow, he seems like a real gentleman. Maybe he's not as uptight as I thought. If only the funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible as him. Right, Zhongli?
Indeed.
Cloran said Nervalet offered to deliver her gifts to Risley. So if we go to the entrance of the Fortress of Meripede, maybe we'll run into Nervalet. But we don't know exactly when he'll show up.
Oh, that reminds me. A new year of work is about to begin. If there's anything you want to talk about, Zhongli, you know you can come to me. I'm all ears.
Does the director have any concerns?
It just seemed like you were a bit preoccupied today, and much less talkative than usual. He barely said anything other than, "Is that so?" and "Indeed." If you ask me, I'd say you're having a midlife crisis. You're getting to be around that age after all.
Is that so?
Ugh.
I jest. Given its distance from the city, Xiaoying Village enjoys a much slower pace of life. Surrounded by such peace and tranquility, I also seem to have developed a proclivity for inactivity. I apologize for making you worry.
I see. What do you think, Traveler? Is this atmosphere putting you in a lazy mood too? Wow, you are getting really good at these kinds of lines.
Indeed.
Well, everyone, make sure that you've got all your belongings with you before we leave. If there's any souvenirs anyone still wants to buy, the time is now.
Reliable as ever, Miss President.
What is that supposed to mean?
Gloriand is right, though. You really are reliable.
It's not what she's saying, it's the way she's saying it.
I will say, I never thought you'd be so easygoing outside of work, Gloriand. The tone of voice you use when you're working doesn't exactly make you seem like the type who enjoys interacting with people.
Well, I try to keep my professional and private life separate. That includes my behavior.
You take care now, Traveler. Paimon. Trying to act cool now, are we? Well, I guess it's not an act for you, is it?
You are indeed quite strong.
It's been great talking to you all. I'm really glad I decided to come to Xiaoying Village. Maybe we could go on another trip together sometime?
Relax. The wind rises. You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem. Relax. Squall and Fury.
Behold!
Look! It's Neuvillette! We lucked out!
Oh, it's you. It has been some time since our last meeting. Few people frequent this location. Since I was able to conclude my work early for the day, I thought I might take a walk and avail myself of this area's peace and quiet.
You call this early? Do you always work this late, Neuvillette?
Strictly speaking, that depends on the agenda for the day. I am hardly bereft of time, however, so working late is of little consequence to me.
Really? If you have so much time on your hands, then why did you only go to Chaoying Village for half a day?
First, I should clarify that I was referring to my lifespan, rather than the time at my disposal on any given day. Second, I was unaware you possessed knowledge of my trip to Chaoying Village. I see. Thank you for informing me. Yes, they have been safely delivered.
I have to hand it to Clorant. Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call.
I was just passing through. It was merely an act of convenience.
All right. Then I hereby confirm receipt of the goods on behalf of the staff of the Fortress of Meripede.
A verbal receipt of confirmation? Is such a formality really necessary for a small matter such as this?
Guess not. This quantity of tea, though, seems a little excessive for a gift, don't you think? Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
Ah, about that. Much of that is my own excess, I'm afraid.
Oh? Why? What happened?
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Ah, that explains it then. Well, go ahead and leave them to me. I'll get through this stash as fast as I can.
You have my thanks. Oh, there's something else I'd like to give to you.
This is a stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
A legal codex, huh?
Before the advent of modern writing utensils, information was recorded on stone slabs such as this. The law was no different.
Okay.
Since ancient times, the scales of justice have symbolized the fairness and impartiality of judiciousness. As a tribute to that sentiment, this slate was designed after a traditional legal codex and engraved with a symbol instead of text. During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts, so I decided to have a go. We joked with Clorant some time ago about gifting you a legal codex, so here you go.
Ah, so that's what this is about.
I did not expect you to remember it as well. In any case, I hope this can be considered as a reasonable attempt to join in on the banter.
It is a very good attempt. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Even your sense of humor centers around the law. That's an impressive level of commitment. Well, a gift of this significance deserves to be put on display, and I know just the place. Front and center in the Fortress's showroom.
Ah, surely there's no need for such a grand gesture.
Just kidding. I don't have anything like a showroom. But we do have a storage room. We can put it next to all the mechanical parts Sijuin has collected.
That sounds good to me.
So that's what you were doing in Chaoying Village!
Indeed. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water. The aftertaste is much purer than what I have delivered to me in Fontaine. It stands to reason that the long-distance transport has a tendency to imbue the water with extraneous emotion. If you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere. Then we are of the same mind. It appears my desire is justified.
If you say so, but you know you don't have to justify a vacation, right? You can just take one. After all, you're hardly bereft of time. You can do whatever you want.
You're quite right. I suppose I suffer not from a lack of opportunity, but rather a lack of inspiration. However, after reading a few articles about Liyue's holiday traditions, the idea popped into my head and made itself quite at home. Seeing as I was free of responsibilities for the morning, I decided to depart at once. Refreshing. My spontaneous outing seemed to inspire quite a few other spontaneous decisions as well. Take, for example, my foray into ceramics. At first, soil from the ground is granular and unforgiving, but add the right amount of water, and it becomes soft, moldable, and able to take shape. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted, but now I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
That's a ladle? I thought it was supposed to be some long-necked sea creature.
That was indeed one of my inspirations. Really? You like it? To tell you the truth, given your unexpected arrival, I find myself quite unequipped to give you the welcome you deserve. Around such an important holiday such as this, human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is. That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted. You are most welcome. Happy Lantern Rite. Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could easily lead to a vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol. But I suppose I understand her point. My proclivity to refrain from personal outings does, in part, originate from a sense of responsibility toward my duties. But it is also due to a lack of desire to engage in the human world. But now I see that the human world is indeed full of many interesting places to discover. Lantern Rite marks the start of the new year in Liyue. In the spirit of the season, then, I wish you a year of success as vast and endless as the open ocean.